Hello and welcome to Zephyr Training. I'm your host, Jeff, and I'm joined today by COO and co-founding partner of BoxMLS, Mr. Jason Fayalot. Jason, thanks for joining us.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So I saw this product in sometime last year when it was still called My Property Office. Some folks in the audience may recall that moniker for that, but that's the old name. It's now BoxMLS. And for the uninformed, can you just tell us a quick bit about what BoxMLS is?
Yeah, BoxMLS is a new front-end user interface for the MLS. We have all the same data in the Rapatoni database, and we go ahead and display this information on agents' websites via the BoxMLS system. So I actually have some slides here I can show you just to answer a couple other questions you might have.
That sounds great. So you mentioned that you're connecting to both to the Rapatoni MLS, so that would include SFAR and Berries, correct?
Yeah, so right now the application has SFAR, Berries, and all three East Bay MLSs. So Bridge MLS, CCAR, and Bay East.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to take a look at those slides and just try to kind of set the table here and figure out what are agents getting out of this session today? Why do they want to know this?
So this is BoxMLS, and essentially we're saying we can now push the boundaries of your MLS system. It's a new front-end interface, and essentially here are the main reasons why you would want to use BoxMLS as an agent. Your BoxMLS account is created via your MLS ID and password, and you are going to get your own front-facing agent website that you can share with your clients. The whole process behind this is to collaborate with your clients about real-time MLS data. So it's a client management and collaboration tool. We have the multi-data share capabilities for agents. And we also have custom broker tour management built in, and I'll go over that feature. Everything is mobile responsive. We have an iPhone and an iPad app, and we're also coming out with an Android app. And here's what we're going to essentially go over today is basically how you can search and navigate across multiple MLSs, how your individual agent website will be launched, what real-time MLS data actually means for you and your clients, and how it can give you a step up against the competition, how to invite your clients to the website, and then how all the collaboration works, what your website tracks, so you can see what your clients are doing, how you can share listings. Then we'll get into the broker tour functionality, and finally we'll wrap up with market reports. Okay.
Okay. So just for anyone who's in the live chat, if you have any questions, just use the chat box at the bottom of your screen, or use the Q&A feature, whichever you prefer there, and we'll either jump in as Jason's going through the walkthrough here of the platform, or we can save them to the end. Jason, since you're already in the screen share, we can go ahead and jump right in.
Okay, great. So if you're an agent of SFAR, you can go to BoxMLS.com today, and you can click sign in. And you can essentially log in via your SFAR MLS credentials, okay? Alternatively, when you're inside the MLS, if you just go and click on the BoxMLS icon here, it's going to essentially launch the agent directly into the application. Okay, so what I'm going to look, actually that came down, there we go. Wait, I got to move this, perfect. You can still see my screen, right? Jeff, you can still see my screen?
Sorry about that. It actually ended. We might need to restart it, the screen share. Yes.
Okay,
we're seeing
perfect.
it now.
Okay, so this is the agent view. I'm now logged in as an agent. You know this because your name's going to pop up here, okay? And essentially, this is your agent website, jasonfayalot.boxmls.com, okay? This is what the website looks like on the internet to an anonymous user, okay? So basically, your contact information pops out on the right, and all the properties are right here on the map. This is what consumers want to see, okay? Now, I own jasonfaylot.com, so I send all traffic that goes to jasonfaylot.com to jasonfaylot.boxmls.com. As an agent, I can also log in to this website here, and it'll take me back to the agent view, okay? It's important to note that agents and clients have the same views. We just don't display certain data to clients. So they, for example, they cannot get contact information for the listing agent, okay? They are not going to see private remarks and so forth, okay? When you come to the application, you're going to be logged in as an agent and you're going to end up on the searches tab. Here, I can go through all the saved searches that I have, and I go through them on a daily basis just to see what's new. So for example, if I want to look at Woolly 2 units, it's going to pull up all the status updates tied to this search, and I can look at active and see what's a new listing that's hit the market. So this listing hit the market 6 days ago. I can go ahead and click on the address, and I'll be able to see pop-up information here on the right, okay? So everything inside Rapatoni is going to be displayed here, okay? Open home times. I can view the details. So this will take me directly to the property detail page. This is what agents and clients are going to see. We put everything front and center. Listing agent information, open home times. If this property had a broker tour, that would be displayed here. Here are the listing agent remarks, okay? Estimated values are coming from RPR, their AVM. These are the MLS details, everything in Rapatoni. We also bring up comparable listings. So if I want to see comparable listings that have sold, it's going to generate these properties as well. And I can go ahead and look through them and see how much they're selling over list price and so forth, okay?
All right, so seeing a lot here, and it's already a lot easier on the eyes compared to Rapatoni, obviously. As far as the data, can you talk a bit about how frequently that's syncing with Rapatoni?
With Rapatoni, so we actually sync by the second. Let me go ahead and give you an example. So we sync by the second. So once an agent puts a new listing into Rapatoni, we're going to get that listing in our user interface, and that will also trigger any email update that needs to go out. The benefit of that is we're using some pretty cool technology that will allow your clients to get email updates quicker than the other portals that are out there, okay? So for example, sometimes I sit down with a client and I say, hey, let's save a safe search here. And they say, well, I already have a safe search on another website. And my response is basically, I don't work at that company, so it's hard for me to really interact with you about this. Let's save a search. We save that search. They get the email updates quicker. It forces them to eventually delete that other safe search, okay? So that's going to be via, say they're on Zillow, say they're on Redfin, Realtor.com. This allows you to collaborate better with your clients, okay?
Sure.
Here, let's just go down to the bottom here of the page. So these are the comparable listings. Then we actually break out market reports by property type and neighborhood, okay? And then down here at the bottom, we also have some additional neighborhood information that the user can go through, okay? So again, we're trying to put everything in one place for the agent and the client, okay? Let's actually go to search, okay? If you click this plus button here, it'll take you to the search interface, okay? We have broken all the neighborhoods down by their actual MLS boundary, okay? Let's go ahead and let's say, Jeff, you're in the office with me. We're looking at properties. And I say, hey, Jeff, what neighborhoods are you interested in? You come back and say, well, I'm interested in Bernal Heights.
Sure.
I'm interested in Glen Park and Noe Valley, okay?
Yep.
So this is how we're going to initiate saving a search for Jeff, the client. So I'm going to click select areas here. and I can simply click on Bernal Heights, Glen Park, and Noe Valley, okay? And then I'm gonna click Done Selecting. Then we can actually go through the process of honing this search for Jeff. So I'm gonna leave the properties as active, but I'm going to remove loft, TICs, co-ops, okay? We have all the same property types as inside Rapatoni. And I'm gonna put a price range here. I'll put, let's just say, Jeff, you're gonna be a high roller, 2 to 3.25.
Sure, yeah.
4 results in these areas here, okay? I can go through the list view and I can look at the properties, okay? I can look at the pictures and so forth. Or I can reduce this back, and let's say you're happy with this. I want to save your search. So all I have to do is click Save Search, and now I can title it. Okay, so Jeff search. Okay. Real time is the default. That means any new listing that hits the market, I'm going to be notified and Jeff will be notified. Daily is at 6 p.m. Send me an email update, essentially saying what's new to the market. Never is, I don't want emails because I'm always going to log in and look at my searches up here on the top left. Okay. So I can actually share this with Jeff. And notice I've input Jeff's email, and at this point, Jeff is not a client of mine because he hasn't accepted an invitation or he hasn't created an account. The system automatically knows that. So here it's going to send Jeff an invite. It's going to ask him to register on my BoxMLS website. And once he does, he's tied to this Save Search. Okay. And then I'll just go ahead and click Save. That'll complete the Save Search process. Let me go ahead and cancel out of this right now.
That's
okay?
great. That's incredibly easy to follow along with and pretty easy to set up, I'd say.
Well, thank you. It's taken some time with the UI process, but we're results out of this with agents and their clients. Okay. Now the other so let me go back to the searches here. So again, this is where I can go through all my searches, okay, and I can look at property types and so forth. I can also look at the searches that my clients have. So for example, Brad Davis, he has a San Francisco wide search, and this is what he's seeing, okay? Let's jump into the clients area, because I just want to kind of go through how agents can invite their clients to the application. Okay.
Before we jump straight there, Jason,
Yeah.
there's a quick question about Save Search from Douglas. He's asking, is there a quick way to basically duplicate an existing search, maybe change a couple parameters and then save it as a new search itself?
Okay. That's a very good idea. We actually have a ticket for that specific question. So we're located in Noe Valley here. We've got 3 developers constantly working on tickets and improvements, and that's one thing that we're working on. Okay.
Great.
So clients here, if you want to invite a client, you just simply click invite, first name, last name, and email address, and then you can type in anything you want here as a text message, as a message, and send the invite. Okay. If a client has not accepted the invite, you can actually re-invite them through this area here, okay? The application will track everything that your clients are doing, from favoriting properties to what safe searches they have, when they log in, comments they make on properties, when they activate accounts, and properties they look at. At the end of this week, we're going to be adding in here the shared properties. So when an agent shares a property with a client, this will also be recorded, okay? Let me just kind of show how that works. Actually. Oh, for some reason here, there we go. The share icon is right here. So if I click on this anywhere in the application, I can share a property with any email address or with a client. And I can also share this listing via Facebook or Twitter, okay? So the relevance behind this is whenever you share a property, the client gets an email with your information on it, okay? When they click on the link, it takes the user back to the agent's website. So again, it's this connection of giving your clients unlimited access to real-time MLS data, okay? The My MLS area is essentially a hot sheet, okay? So here, for example, you'll see that this listing just went active 2 minutes ago, okay? Now, we have these sort features here, so you can sort specifically by San Francisco or Barry's or the East Bay MLSs. So let's just look at San Francisco. And if I want to just see what has sold recently, I can go ahead and look through all of this. So this is in real time. When these updates come through, they'll be published here, okay? As an agent, you can favorite a property, and then it'll go into your favorites bin here, okay? Let's look at active listings. If a property is on broker tour, then this icon is going to be in the application. And if I click on this, it will allow me to add it to my tours, okay? So here I'm going to add these 3 properties to tours, and I'll come back to that feature in a minute, okay? The favorites area allows me to track any listing that my client might like or I might like, and when a property goes through a status change, I will get a real-time email update, and then I'll use that information to push to my client to say, hey, this property is now in contract. We missed out. Next time we see a property like this, we should just move quicker, okay? Also, sold information will come through, so you'll be able to see the percentage it sold over list price, okay?
Got it. Now on this screen, where are we seeing just listings that you've marked as favorite, or do we also see what your clients have marked, or is there kind of a way to sort between those views?
So these are properties that I have favorited as an agent, okay? If I want to go ahead and see, if I go into the clients area here, okay, and I go ahead and look at a client, say for example, in an actual client page, I can see what properties he's favorited. Okay.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yeah. So I can go through here and I can look at them, and then I can communicate to him about these properties. Like, hey, what did you like about this? What did you not like, and so forth. Okay.
Great. Great.
One area, so right now, BoxMLS is a free member benefit for SFAR agents, okay? An added feature for BoxMLS is the market reports. And these are $10 a month. The agent can decide to subscribe to them. But what it does is it essentially allows the agent to look at neighborhoods and property types. So most of the time people ask agents like, well, how's the market? What's going on? Well, that's a unique question for your neighborhood and property type. And this process allows an agent to send a real-time market report with information about the neighborhood and property type to the client, okay? So here I can go ahead and print this, and when it prints, it's gonna have all my contact information on it, okay? Or I can share the report to any email address and type in a message, okay? So that's an add-on feature that exists in the application. Any questions about this?
Very exciting. Is there a way to see what that looks like in the email, or does it look pretty similar to what we're seeing here on the screen?
So you're actually going to get an email, and it's going to be a button, and you'll click that button and it'll take you to a landing page with the market report on it.
Got it.
that report refreshes in real time. So you can actually take that report, embed it somewhere, and it's always going to be updated. So if 3 properties sell today, it'll be updated by the 2nd. Okay.
Wow, that's very handy. And Charlie has a clarifying question. Just wants to confirm that it's unlimited reports for the $10 a month.
That's
price
correct.
point?
Unlimited reports for the entire Bay Area, actually. So if you want to do a report for Tiburon, a report for Piedmont, and a report for Bernal, you can go ahead and do that. Okay.
Yeah, I imagine that'll be very popular. Seems like a very competitive price point for what you get there.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're working on additional types of reports as well. Since we have all this great data, we want to work with agents to really build out what they need for their clients so they can be competitive in this market. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at the tours area.
Sure.
Okay. So we've broken out the tours area in My Tours, New Tours, and Repeat. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at San Francisco. And I'm going to look by neighborhood. Okay. This will break out the upcoming tours that I'm going to go see next week. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at new tours in San Francisco by neighborhood for next week. So in the Haight-Ashbury, this property is going to be open. Okay. In Noe, this property is going to be open. So as new tours get added to Rapatoni, this will build out. Okay. Now, San Francisco's neighborhood based, but if I go to the East Bay, I might want to look by city, or I might want to look by time, for example. So I can go ahead and do this as well. So these are the sort options today. And again, we do new tours and then repeat tours, okay? If I go back to the My Tour area, you're gonna see here that we've built a trip planner button along with a print button. So the print button builds, I gotta pick a day of the week, sorry. Let's do Tuesday next week. The print button generates a PDF of the properties that I have on my tour, okay? So here they are here. I can email this to my clients. When they click on the link, it takes them to the property detail page on my website. They can create an account that way. They can favorite it or whatnot, okay? Or the agent can actually print this out and take it out on tour, on the tour that they're going on, okay? The trip planner function will route via Google Maps the best location to get to the property, okay? So for some reason here, it's telling me my IP is saying that I'm in Scotts Valley, which is not the case. But I could go ahead and send these directions to my phone, or I can actually print out the directions. And this is going to map out the best way to get to the various tours that I need to go see next week on Tuesday. Okay.
It's going to be a long drive for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So, any questions about this?
I don't have any at the moment, chat. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in. Charlie just asked this question. We saw on the searches page that when you're looking at a property detail view that you also get the comparables at the bottom, which I think is a killer feature. Is there any component beyond that in terms of a CMA or anything like that planned?
We're working on that as well. So there's this blue button down here on the bottom right. Okay, this allows for real-time chat with the team here in the office, and I think the live screen is preventing us.
Could be interfering with it, yeah.
Yeah. But that's where if agents are having any questions or want to talk about additional features like that CMA question, they can go ahead and type this in here. And then we might reach out to the agent specifically over the phone and ask, like, you know, hey, we'd love to learn a little more about what you're requesting and so forth. But this is how we interact with agents on a daily basis. Okay.
Okay.
We also have a help center area. So these are going to be articles tied to how to use the application, okay? At this point, that's about it. This global search bar up here at the top allows the agent and the client to really hone in on what they're looking for. So you can type in a neighborhood, for example, like Noe Valley, and it's going to populate on the map, give you some information about the neighborhood, and here are going to be all the results, okay?
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much for the tour. Looks like we got one more question coming in from Douglas. Can we use the global search to find properties by agent name? That's a good one.
Let's see. I believe you can. So let's look at Arian Binnings. Yes. So here are all the properties that Arian Binnings has worked on. Okay. And you can go through them this way. Okay.
Wow. What a great feature. And nowhere, you don't have to dig for it. Just look for the search bar and type it in. That's
type
great.
in the name. Yeah. And we're building out more features for the search bar here.
Mm-hmm. And Charlie has a follow-up here. Are there any future plans to charge an additional membership fee to realtors, or is this kind of going to be an ongoing benefit?
So right now we have a long-term agreement with SFAR. And we are working on, so for example, we're going to work on feature sets that agents can essentially subscribe to above and beyond the base offering with the MLS, okay? Mm-hmm. So right now, everything here is 100% free except the market reports, okay? We will be working on, say for example, building out this landing page for agents so that it's customizable. So they have one large landing page instead of the right panel here on the right.
Sure.
That's going to be another feature. We can work on CMA items. The beauty of all this is we can do it as a brokerage offering or as an agent offering. So that's what we're working and talking with our agent advisors about that. Okay.
Great. And is there a legend for the icons for listing status, active, pending, etc.?
That's a good point. I'll add an article in the Help Center, but right now, actually, yeah, there is. Let's go to this. I have to refresh this. Yeah, let me get back out.
Yeah, it seems like the screen share might be
stuck.
Mess with the clicks.
I'm seeing something over this.
Right. And I'm still seeing your mouse move around for sure. So it seems like we're still connected, but it's just kind of messing with the page.
So there's a legend. If you hit status, active's going to be green, in contract's going to be orange, pending's going to be a circle, and then sold's going to be blue. Okay. So that's pending right here. This is sold. And when you hover over it, you'll see the thumbnails for it.
Great.
Okay.
All right. So, Jason, thanks again for giving us this tour. I think it was very informative, and just having been around a lot of these tools for a while, it's exciting for me to see kind of a very positive step in terms of user interface with working with this data, and just seems really approachable and very powerful as well.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for having me, Jeff, and we'll definitely talk soon. Okay.
Yes, we want to have you back as soon as next time we have updates. If you wouldn't mind ending the screen share, just going to wrap up real quick with everyone. So to everyone that was able to make the session today, thank you for tuning in live. And yeah, it really just kind of helps having the questions in the chat. So appreciate that. Next week's session, we're going to have disclosures.io on. A lot of you may have heard about them, seen their name floating around. They're the disclosure package building tool that also plugs in very nicely to the MLS. So we'll have the the founder on, Brian Slauson. He'll take us through the product. It's been about 7 months since he was on, so we'll look forward to that. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap us up, and we will see everyone next week.